35 years since Pops and Cobra and Scrap Iron and Teak raised the Jolly Roger in triumph? I was there that damp night in Baltimore when We Are Family became Pittsburgh's national anthem. Tonight and tomorrow, we remember the heroes of that day and that time. So think back or ask your parents if need be. It'll bring a wide smile to all of Bucco Nation.
It's a T-Mobile Tuesday night baseball game in Pittsburgh as the Pirates host the Baltimore Orioles, the first of a brief two-game series. It's the start of a six-game homestand. Francisco Liriano looks for his first win of the season. And, of course, we will be reminiscing about Willie Stargell and the We Are Family. Pirates, 35 years. The Pirates were the world champions over the Baltimore Orioles, that 1979 World Series. The Pirates were in Baltimore for a brief two-game series. We're swept in a doubleheader. The Pirates trying to return the favor tonight here against the Birds. Greg Brown, Steve Blass with you. And Steve, you know that 1979 team hovered around the 500 mark till about this time of year, and they really started to turn it on. The Pirates would like to take a page out of that book and really turn it on this point forward.
Absolutely. Tonight's certainly a good night to start that. Great that we can see those guys from the 79 team. I wish Willie Stargell could be here because, you know, he kind of got us to the 71 World Series, but he had a bad series. He got a second chance, and boy, did he cash it in. MVP of the World Series, Willie Stargell, thinking about him on this night.
Yeah, we'll be talking a lot about those We Are Family days, Willie Stargell and company, as the Pirates and Orioles meet in Game 1 of the two-game series. It is Francisco Liriano on the hill, looking for his first win of the season. Oh, those were good times back then. Pops led the way to the We Are Family championship in 1979. We'll be talking about that throughout the next couple of ball games. We're also looking forward to a Pirate victory over the Birds tonight at PNC Park.
Is brought to you by Toyota. Now's the time to go places with Toyota. Visit buyatoyota.com for special offers. And by PNC Bank for the achiever in you. Let's go Bucks!
Had a little bit of rain a little while ago, but hoping to play through the rest of the evening without any interruption as we look back on the 1979 season, celebrating the 35-year anniversary of the Pirates World Series championship. And the Pirates won the then National League East, went on to play the Cincinnati Reds in the National League Championship Series. They then were in the West, and of course the Pirates won that and went on to face the Orioles in the World Series. Here is tonight's Honda starting lineup for Buck Showalter's Orioles. Nick Markakis leads off, then it's Manny Machado and Adam Jones in his career. He's 4 for 15 against Francisco Liriano. Chris Davis is back in the lineup. He was out when the Pirates were in Baltimore on May the 1st. Nelson Cruz, J.J. Hardy, Jonathan Scope, Caleb Joseph, Matt Wieters on the DL, so Joseph catches, and Miguel Gonzalez on the mound. And on the mound for the Pirates, it's Francisco Liriano.
Making start number 10, still looking for his first win of 2014. Certainly pitched well enough last time out to get it against the Milwaukee Brewers. 6 innings, just 4 hits, 1 run given up, and 1 free pass, but still looking to break through. And we want to start piling up some wins for some of these starters. You know, we're getting well into the season now. It's got to start.
That defense will be on its toes. Check it out in center field. Andrew McCutchen with Josh Harrison. Why not? Getting the start in right. Good to see the Starling Marte is back out in left. Pedro Alvarez, Jordy Mercer on the left side. Neil Walker, Ike Davis on the right side of the infield. And Chris Stewart will catch Francisco Liriano.
Josh Harrison, what a job he has been doing. What a job he did in Game 2 against the Yankees to get the Pirates out of that series with a win.
First pitch, ball 1 on Nick Markakis. 289 hitter. Those 2 homers came in both ends of the doubleheader in Baltimore against the Pirates, but he's going to be retired here 4-3. And Steve Liriano pitched well his last start. He certainly has pitched better than to be winless. His last time out, 1 run, 6 innings, 4 hits against Milwaukee in Milwaukee.
Yep, but the Pirates only gave him 1 run in support. You know, I was watching the games on the road. I'm still kind of searching for an identity of this team.
I think they are. I really do.
Yeah, I can't get a handle on it. Right now, the theme, the identity is inconsistency.
Yeah. I would say a very serious tone to Clint Hurdle's pregame media session. Not angry, very matter of fact, and concurs with Neil Huntington. Neil Huntington said on his radio show on Sunday that basically they've got to get moving now. That's not a big secret, but when your general manager says it and your manager confirms it, you know, it's time.
Yeah, you get to where you're over 40 games.
Yep,
you should have an idea what you have, what you don't have.
Couple strikes on Manny Machado. Andrew McCutchen, you know, we've seen historically he can get really hot. Previous couple of Mays and then June and July, 2 of his better months. Pitch just misses. Pedro Alvarez, very inconsistent the last couple of weeks.
And we're talking about the middle part of the lineup,
yep.
the big part of your lineup. It's missing downstairs. You need those guys to carry you at different times of the season. Get on that roll where they're just knocking the cover off the ball, you know, for periods of time. You know, have a hot streak for 7 to 10 games. You know, sprinkle some of those in, and that helps your bullpen have a little wiggle room.
And a strikeout, 2 down. That's something too. I guess we can talk about later in the game if we have another close game and the bullpen comes into play. But yeah, giving in this case Melanson some breathing room late in the ball game. A good start for Liriano. He gets the ground out and a strikeout, and now he faces Adam Jones, who is riding a 13-game hitting streak.
What a nice looking fastball running away from Machado, running from the corner on the outside part of the plate out away where he really couldn't do anything with it. Really tailed off. Nicely done.
Fastball away. We talked with Clint Hurdle about this Orioles club, which Steve, you made note of teams like the Brewers, who are not just free swingers but at times coming out of their shoes. And Hurdle pointed out that the Orioles, the top team in the league, the American League, in terms of swinging at first pitches and getting balls in play. So the importance for Liriano of making quality first pitches. And this third pitch to Jones is a base hit. Adam Jones has a 14-game hitting streak.
Yeah, when you get into a scenario like that where you get that kind of scouting report, then you're thinking the beginning of the at-bat, first pitch, you want to make a quality pitch. You don't want to just throw a ball down the middle part of the strike zone to get out in front.
No get me over curveballs, that kind of thing, right?
It doesn't work against those types of lineups. You've got to start making a quality pitch and trying to get ahead with something that they can't really hit hard or have that really aggressive, really full throttle swing. Make it like you got a chance for a strikeout. Make them chase something.
Big bat is back in their lineup in Chris Davis. Strike one, 94 from Liriano. Davis was out when the Pirates were in Baltimore on May the 1st with a left oblique strain. He homered on Friday at Kansas City, his first homer since returning.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. They just want to pound him in.
And they did there.
Yep.
And it's 0-2.
Watch Stewart. He's sitting on the inside corner. And they tie him up. Sorry, Greg.
No, that's perfect. It was good. Perfect location. Stewart barely had to move the glove. We talked to Chris Stewart before the game about how much fun it is to catch Liriano. He says he's such a great competitor. And such meaning to each pitch. This one in the dirt and not obviously what Liriano wanted. 1-2.
8th career start against the Baltimore Orioles. 2-3 in the first 7, his record.
4.21 ERA and 7 career starts against Baltimore. And a wave and a miss. So Liriano strikes out a pair. Gave up that 2-out single, but Jones left stranded. Half inning, Baltimore nothing, and now the Pirates are coming to bat. And our Toyota starting lineup features Josh Harrison. He was the spark plug at Yankee Stadium that helped the Pirates split that doubleheader, and he's hitting .364 this month. Neil Walker next, then Andrew McCutchen and Pedro Alvarez. Starling Marte is in left field. Ike Davis at first. Bottom 30 of the order, Jordy Mercer, Chris Stewart, and Francisco Liriano.
Miguel Gonzalez making start number 8. He has never faced the Pirates. This year 1-3, 4.76 ERA, but that might be a little misleading because he really got knocked around in his first start. Gave up 7 runs in about 3 innings against Detroit. Since then, he's been decently consistent, giving up 2 and 3 runs, no more than 3 runs in any subsequent start.
The first pitch strike on Harrison. A home run, a great diving catch to help lead the way on Sunday, game 2 of that doubleheader.
There's never any question about Josh Harrison leaving it all on the field when he plays.
That's pounded foul. Stays 0-2 on Harrison.
Now, if you ever talk about a Major League Baseball player with quirks and little routines, you talk about Josh Harrison. After anything happens, he will beat the front of his toes with a bat until the pitcher gets ready to throw the next pitch.
The J-Hay toe tap.
Yep.
Another foul ball.
Okay. Do it, J-Hay. Oh.
Popped them up finally. Way up there, and the catch made easily by Machado. So Harrison is retired.
It's only a matter of time before I will call this young man, a slender young man, Gio Gonzalez, but it's Miguel out of Guadalajara, Mexico. Not the biggest pitcher in the big league, 6'1", about 170 pounds, 29 years old. He got him from the Red Sox Rule 5 draft pick several years ago.
His family moved when he was just 4 years old to Southern California. Strike is called on Neil Walker. Miguel Gonzalez, his dad was a groundskeeper at Loyola Marymount. And he and his brothers used to play ball on some of the adjoining fields. Fell in love with the game. And he's quite a competitor.
And he's done a good job too since coming over from the Red Sox. 21-15, about 500 win percentage.
Walker in Baltimore, that doubleheader, was on base 5 times, 4 walks. Walker has been hit by a pitch more often than any player in the National League. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Having an outstanding start to his 2014 season. Shares the big league lead among second basemen with 25 RBIs. He and Brian Dozier, the Twins. Just foul. And the Orioles get the same kind of reports other clubs do, and they've decided to shift Walker as a left-handed pull hitter, a dead pull hitter. This has been a trend that we've seen for the last couple of weeks now. Opposing defenses. And he'll beat that shift.
You hit the ball hard enough, they don't have much time to get to it, no matter where they're positioned. That ball was smacked.
That is hard to do, Steve. That's hard to beat. The shift hitting the ball in that direction. The first baseman, Chris Davis, hugging the line. Second baseman, Scope, on the outfield grass. But as you said, you hit it hard enough, you can beat the shift. Yeah,
the key is to hit it hard enough where they don't have time to move. You hit those routine 2 hoppers, even toward what would have been the hole. They're back far enough they can close on it.
Now McCutchen. He was 3 for 7 against the Orioles in that doubleheader. Turned out to be a makeup twin bill. All the rain in Baltimore that stretch when the Pirates were in town.
And by the way, who's that guy in the Lexus seats in back of home plate with a Baltimore Oriole jersey on? We get that shot from the back of the pitcher. How do you get that ticket? There he is.
In the front row.
He is, too. Gotta have a good friend here in Pittsburgh.
Line drive, base hit to left. 1-0, 1 pitch. Well, it's a good start. Walker base hit, McCutchen base hit, and now the big man Alvarez.
And speaking of Mr. Alvarez and his home run power potential, Gonzalez, this is his 8th start. He's given up 7 home runs. Now, 5 of them have been solo shots, but they're still home runs.
How about of the 44 he's given up in the major leagues, 31 have been solo shots.
And if he stays around long enough, Greg, that number will close. Multiple home runs will become part of your life if you give up enough home runs. That will happen eventually.
Dribbler. I'll get just the one. Oh, Walker has to be careful. He dives back. Fielder's choice.
We have seen enough issues on the base paths, have we not? Just a little chopper. They decide to get the middleman and almost get the front man. If that throw is on the home plate side of third base, they might have a chance, but he had to reach out and bring it back from left field.
J.J. Hardy gunned it to Machado. Alvarez on the force is at first base. Here's Starling Marte. And out of play.
We're talking, Greg, on the pregame show with Stan and Teak about the tips for tonight, one of which is just got to get more production out of the middle part of your batting order. Could have made one, too, that you got to start getting more hits with men in scoring position. I mean, there's a laundry list right now of things that we have to do better or more of.
So true.
Wow. That is a major league save right there.
Caleb Joseph just saved a run for the moment.
Youngster coming up to replace Matt Wieters, as you mentioned, in the lineups. That's about as good as it gets right there. That's as good as it gets. That's NHL stuff.
Yeah. Man. That's a sensational pick by Caleb Joseph. How much does Gonzalez appreciate that? A run saver. And now Marte, you know, he was the poster boy for the inconsistency of the Pirates in that doubleheader, Steve, on Sunday. Game 1, 0 for 4, struck out 4 times. Game 2, 2-run homer in the 6th. Helped the Pirates win the ball game.
Need to level things out on the high end.
Fastball just missing, 2-2. Gonzalez with 35 strikeouts.
We might be getting him at the right neighborhood. On the road, he's 0-2 with an ERA of 6.86 in 4 starts.
Strikes out Marte. Pirates leave a couple. And after one, it's 0-0.
Scoreless game as we head into the second inning, 35th anniversary celebration. We're happy to be joined by Lee Lacy, a left fielder on the 1979 Pirates World Series team. And Lee, you're a happy guy being back here. You're in PNC Park. What's this experience like for you being back with your old World Series winning teammates?
First of all, I feel that I'm very blessed to be part of the 1979 World Series. And I'm very fortunate to see all my old teammates here. And I'm truly honored to be able to be one of the recipients of the 1979 World Series Pirates, and I'm truly blessed to be here.
Now, what memories come to mind when you see these guys again? What's like the first thing you guys talk about?
Well, we talk about of course, the game that we played, the 7th game of the World Series when we clinched it. And the thing that really sticks out in my mind is the home run that Willie Stargell hit, and to put us ahead 2-1. That's my most memorable moment of the 1979 World Series. We went ahead then, and then, of course, the pitching of Grant Jackson coming in and icing it for us, making great pitches on both left-handed and right-handed hitters, and he was magnificent. And then, of course, Kent Tecovey to come in, and he was our superstar. He would come in and he would close it out, and no one could ever figure him out.
That's good stuff. Now, what do you remember from the regular season in 1979? What sticks out?
What sticks out is that we had to really fight all the way, and the motivating factor and what really sticks out in my mind is when Willie Stargell came with the idea with the stars, and he started putting the stars on our caps for accomplishments, and that's the thing that really sticks out because that was a motivating factor. And of course, we brought in Bill Madlock, who solidified the third base position, and from there we took off. But I would have to say the stars on the caps was the most memorable thing of the 1979 World Series.
Mike, you start talking about that. Now, you live in Southern California. How much do you follow the Pirates, and what do you like about what they've done here in recent years?
Oh, I follow Pirates. Pirates is actually my team, although I was drafted by the Dodgers in 1969, and I live in Southern California, and I'm part of the Dodgers alumni, but the Pirates is my team. I love the city of Pittsburgh. In 1978, when I became a free agent, became here, I was drafted by all 12 teams at that particular time, and everyone was wondering, why did I choose the Pirates? Because I love the city. I love the city when I used to come in with the Dodgers, and I love the city as we stand here and speak today.
Well, Lee, we're happy to have you back. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yep. Greg and Steve, a lot of great memories coming your way. We'll be joined by more guys from the 79 Pirates.
Yep. Look forward to it.
He was a great extra player for that team, Robbie. And, of course, he wisely chose not to remind Robbie that he finished his career with the Orioles his last 3 years. Lee Lacy, a Baltimore Oriole. But as he said, and so many of those Pirates from the 1979 season remember the city and the team fondly. 6 years in a Pirate uniform for Lee Lacy.
Well, you continually hear that theme from people that played baseball for the Pittsburgh Pirates about the city. It's a continual theme. To the point that a lot of us made our homes here after we got through playing.
Strike on Jonathan Scope. Couple of outs here in the second. Scope hitting .221, and in the hole 1 and 2. Liriano tries to make it a quick 1-2-3 inning.
There you go.
Does it? 3 Ks. 1, 2, 3 go the Birds. We'll head to the bottom of the second. 0-0.
Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. 5 Hour Energy helps recognize those who, despite their own needs, put others first. By the Chevy Cruze and your Western PA Chevy dealers. And by Day Automotive. We're going to make your day. Let's go, Bucks!
0-0. Bottom of the second we go. And Ike Davis will lead off. Francisco Liriano, a good start. 3 strikeouts. He's given up 1 hit through the first 7 batters. And now Miguel Gonzalez facing the 6, 7, 8 men in the Pirates order. Ike Davis batting .263. He has been getting on base at a good pace, but he'd like to see those power numbers increase. Start driving the ball.
Yep, the 2 home runs, the grand slam with the Mets, the grand slam with the Pirates.
Again, a solid on base percentage. He has reached base safely in 14 of his last 16 games. Though he's gone 2 for his last 13. And that home run against the Reds came April the 21st.
If I have my math right, that would be exactly 1 month tomorrow.
Would be. Ninth appearance, 8th start for Gonzalez.
And looks to be, I have not seen any of Gonzalez's outings, of course, but looks like early on he's not afraid to pull a string on that breaking ball, and got Marte to chase it for the 3rd out in the 1st inning. The pitch selection for Gonzalez, that ball is fouled away. The usual suspects: the fastball, curve, slider, change, but also a splitter on his resume. Split finger fastball will give you the downer. It'll look many times like the slow curve in that it will have that downward action.
His last start, he really went away from the fastball a good bit against Houston.
And you don't know if that's going to be a trend he's starting to do as that ball is fouled back, where he just found a scouting report against a team that was good. They were good hitting, good fastball hitting team.
Caleb Joseph takes this one off the mask.
He doesn't care. He's in the big leagues. But they called him up, I think, the first week in May when Wieters went down.
Check swing. Gonzalez retires Ike Davis. 1 out in the bottom of the second. Free Shirt Friday, Pirates Nationals this Friday night. It's Justin Wilson modeling the t-shirt you'll receive. The first 25,000 fans will take home a Pirates t-shirt thanks to Root Sports this Friday. Plus, it's a block party on Federal Street before the game featuring local live music. For tickets, go to pirates.com/freeshirtfriday. Shot about a Jordy Mercer, line to short. Nice shot there from the Allegheny Health Network Supermo right into J.J. Hardy's glove. And that's a Gold Glover. Here's Chris Stewart, the only Pirate to have seen Miguel Gonzalez previously. Stewart, previous couple years with the Yankees. Stewart had a couple of RBIs in the Second game of the doubleheader. A 5-3 Pirate victory over the Yankees. Celebrating his birthday, Tony Montana, Tony Sanchez. But not in the starting lineup. Broken bat roller to first. And it's a 1-2-3 bottom of the second inning for Miguel Gonzalez. 0-0 through 2.
Win with the 79 Pirates watching. Many players in attendance, including this guy right here, Grant Jackson. 8 wins, 14 saves in the 1979 season. Grant, hanging here, talking. A lot of laughs going on here behind us. What's this night like?
I'll tell you what, tonight is a great night. We had such a camaraderie when we played, and it hasn't changed. Right now we're talking about the wins or losses and who got knocked down and who hit who out of the ballpark, and just doing a lot of remembering as far as we can remember. Probably don't remember what we did yesterday, but we remember back then we were winning. But it's, as you can see probably over my shoulder, the camaraderie is out of sight.
How much did that help propel that team when you talk about the camaraderie? How much did that affect you guys and galvanize that squad toward the World Series?
Well, I'll tell you what, right now, the song We Are Family and this World Series ring I got on, We Are Family, and you can believe every word of it, because when we went out to play, we were together, and the wives that were here in Pittsburgh stayed home. They used to go from house. They would go from house to house and be there until the team got back, watching the games. So it was a really family situation. And the only thing we're missing right now is the Pops, Ken Deliria, Jim Bibby, a couple of people that you know about, I know about, and everybody that knows anything about the game and the Pittsburgh Pirates to make this Pirate family complete. They're not here. And number 7, can't leave Chunk out. And
now, you played for the Baltimore Orioles as well. What was that like playing in that World Series again, you know, being that you were part of both organizations?
Well, when you're playing ball, it's not the team. I just want to win for my team. They weren't paying me, so I mean, if they didn't have black and gold on, they have the orange and black like they have on now. I had a lot of teammates over there, Earl Weaver and stuff. I talk after the game, or before the game, but when they said play ball, I don't know nobody.
What were your memories like? Now, we work with Kent Tekulve here at Root Sports, and you pitch with him. You saved games. He saved games that season. What was Teak like as a teammate?
Teak's all right. You know, he's kind of quiet. Every once in a while, you get a camera in front of him. You kind of want to take the show over. But other than that, Teak was all right. He came and did what he's supposed to do. And I used to get on Teak quite a few times. I said, Teak, you got those 30-something saves. I say, 17 times I come and got the tough guys out, or you come and got the last out. So don't talk that stuff to me, you know.
Fun stuff, Grant. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Right, Greg?
All right, Robbie and Buck Jackson, yeah. 14 saves. Enrique Romo had a handful of saves. It's back in the day when
pretty good bullpen.
Chuck would bring Teak in the 7th inning, and 8th inning, and 9th inning.
Hey,
gives those
saves,
3+ inning saves.
Saves can occur anytime. And you know, that actually brings up a good point. We'll probably run out of time, hopefully, if Francisco gets him out. But the bullpen from the 6th inning on last year was so airtight. They're decent this year, but we're comparing them to immaculate from what the guys did last year.
Left center field drops in. Nick Markakis, a base hit.
I don't know when you're going to see a bullpen that was that consistent again. I mean, after the 6th inning, nothing happened.
Well, it seemed to me too, Steve. Not only the 6th inning, there's Teak. There were times last year, a handful of times, when Jonathan Sanchez would be taken out in the 2nd or 3rd inning, and the bullpen would somehow find a way to shut it down for 6 innings.
Yep.
I think in that respect,
from top to bottom, not just the late guys. Yep, you're right.
Because Wilson and Watson are lights out again. I mean, they're doing exactly what they did last year. Brian Morris has been not as consistent as he would like to be.
But leads are being lost late in the ball game.
No doubt.
And that didn't happen last year, and that was so amazing. So when you compare this group to that group, I don't know if anybody's going to be that airtight like they were last year.
By the way, I don't want to just single out Brian Morris. It's not Brian Morris's fault. I'm just saying he wants to be more consistent. So does Jared Hughes is out there now. So does
Jean-Marc Gomez.
Mark Melanson. Gomez, yeah.
it just points out how good they were last year. I mean, by comparison, that group last year from top to bottom.
I think Neil Huntington said it on Sunday that they, I think, were almost inhuman what they did last year.
Yep. So what you'd like to do is score more.
And your starting pitcher give you solid innings. So far, so good for Francisco Liriano. That's 3 scoreless frames. Injury update. Jason Grilli took the mound again today at PNC Park, throwing a sim game, first starting out in the bullpen. Threw 10 pitches to Russell Martin and Travis Snyder, and said he's feeling strong. Feels like he's ready to go, really. He'll throw another sim game tomorrow and could rejoin the active roster soon after. Grilli and Martin both. Martin was actually hoping that he would actually serve his 1-game suspension today and be on the roster to play tomorrow for the Bucks. Both would prefer not to do any kind of rehabbing in the minor leagues, but we'll see. They'll discuss that with Neil Huntington and Clint Hurdle.
I would think too that watch Jason, see how he responds to back-to-back days of working, see how the body handles that.
Liriano puts a charge into one, but Angus will make the catch. We always want to see how you root for your Buccos. Be our AT&T fan photo or photos of the night. Show us how you root for your Pirates, how you display your Pirate pride at home, where you have your Jolly Roger at your home, on your front porch, wherever it might be. Use the hashtag Bucks fan photo, and we'll show them during our broadcast via Twitter. Hashtag Bucks fan photo. Maybe you have some 1979 memorabilia you'd like to show off.
Well, Greg, we talk about that 79 team. You were around that team. You've got to have some great memories, too, of that whole year, not just the World Series, I would think.
It was for many of us, and you were, I remember being around the club still, Steve, right? You were still around. I remember seeing you in the front office on occasion. Were you selling at that time for Johnston's?
Yeah, I was, but I hosted a talk show, right, which I had no clue what I was doing over at KDK late night. And actually went over after one of the night games here at the ballpark and muddled my way through it. But I remember coming over, sitting in the stands, watching the games. And I remember Rooker's game down at the old Hidden Valley Golf Course, sitting at the bar there after playing golf, watching it and rooting on. So yeah, wonderful memories. Wonderful memories.
The Rooker game when the team was down 3 games to 1.
Yes. Yeah, the turnaround
back
game
at Three River Stadium, and that was, of course, quite memorable because Chuck Tanner told all of his players that his mother had died that morning, and she would want them, her Pirates, to go out there and win for her, and that's what they did. There's a nice play at third by Machado, and the stretch by Davis, but an infield hit for Harrison.
And I was worried for a minute that first base umpire Chris Conroy was not going to give the save call. There was a hesitation there, but clearly safe, and he'll remain there now as Machado makes the play, does everything he can, but Harrison's speed gets there. So they did.
Not able to hang on, Chris Davis.
And I hope that wasn't the determining factor because Josh got there in time.
Yeah. Heck of a play by Machado, Gold Glover. Harrison might think about running. The rookie catcher Caleb Joseph.
Pretty good lead for Josh. There's Rook, Grandpa Rook.
Let's see that little pucker, baby.
Grandpa Rook.
Pretty hair by Rook. And Jim. Proud grandpa. Jim now makes his home in Jacksonville, in the Jacksonville area, Ponte Vedra.
Wrote a handful of children's baseball books.
Yep. Matt the Bat was one of them.
Neil Walker at the plate, singled in the first. 2-0 the count. And that's going to sneak through. And nobody at third, so Harrison will go there easily. Another hit for Walker. Somehow, some way, he has found a hole on either side of the second baseman, Jonathan Scope.
And perfectly deflected to slow the ball down, so Josh could just, he could have stopped for a sandwich, even nobody was there. The perfect scenario, just off the glove and dying in short right center field.
Some of the things you have to do when you are over shifting, you've got infielders sprinting to the other side of the mound. The ball's in play. First and third, and now McCutchen with one out. Infield looks for two.
You know, you don't think too much about that, but that's a great point. If the ball is still in play, you've got to remember your responsibilities back where your original position was. So a little bit on the other side of the coin, too, for the automatic shifting.
And now, Steve, here's the situation we discussed earlier. McCutchen and Alvarez are your big RBI guys.
And there are a couple sides to this whole thing. First of all, you know, they don't keep track of how many, well, they do keep track, but it doesn't matter how many people you get on base if you don't get them in. The other side of that coin is if you keep getting people on bases, eventually it's going to happen. So here's a situation where the Pirates are where they want to be in their batting order.
And also a situation, McCutchen has drawn the most walks in the league. So he's got to be careful not to try and do too much and go out of the zone. 2-1. Even though you have a left-handed hitter on deck and a slugger in Pedro Alvarez, the dangerous hitter here in Andrew McCutchen.
But until Pedro starts picking it up, they're going to be very careful with Andrew. I mean, that's the way it works. That's playing with fire.
Big pitch here, 2-1. What will they throw McCutchen? Fastball fouled out of play. And now Caleb Joseph wants to talk things over here with Gonzalez.
What do we want to do? I'm going to guess they're going to go something off speed. And if they miss, they've worked very carefully around them. They get on the other side of Andrew McCutchen. They load the bases. So I wonder if they're going to have to pay a price for that if it happens. But right now, Pedro's cold. Andrew's, of course, Andrew, like any bat, he's got to look for the fastball and adjust. But, let's see what Gonzalez does with him.
And a base hit for Andrew McCutchen.
Yep. He got the fastball. They went with the fastball, and he was on it.
Smoked it into left, and a 1-0 lead.
He was on this pitch. That is right in the middle of hitter paradise. Now you got it going here in the bottom of the third. One out, you're still in business. Let's see what you can pile up.
Alvarez dribbled one back to the mound with runners at first and second and one out in the first inning. Now it's first and second, one out in the third. Ball one.
Keep in mind the 7 home runs that Gonzalez has given up. They can't continue to be solo shots if you give up enough of them. You know, 1-run games too, and the Pirates have played a ton of 1- and 2-run games. They just wear on you and wear on you. You need to get a game or two or three in like a 5 or 6 game series where you can relax a little bit. Just okay.
Breathe.
We're not grinding every second. And it can't just be one game. You want to put like 2 or 3 or 4 of them together in a sequence of games.
That's an appropriate name to that cruise line. Great memories tonight.
Yep.
Remembering the 79 World Series team.
And what Grant Jackson didn't mention was the fact that very much involved in that 7th game in 79, but he was an Oriole in 71. So he knows both sides of the ledger.
It was the Orioles that made him a reliever. And what a turnaround in that career. I mean, he was a good starter with the Phillies, but it was the Orioles that converted him to the bullpen. And what a great career Buck Jackson had as a reliever.
Well, I remember pitching against him as a Philly. He and I pitched an hour and 40-minute game or thereabouts one day. And he won it, and he never fails to mention it to me. 2 to 1, I think.
And he was a 14-game winner in 1969 with the Phillies. And 2 years later was in Baltimore, and he started to make that conversion. There are 2 great relievers right there. The right-hander Teak and the lefty Buck Jackson. Bounce foul.
You heard Grant. Teak's all right.
He's all right.
He's okay.
Yeah.
Pretty good lefty-righty combination. They're both okay.
Yeah.
Both all right.
Yeah.
Of course, the Pirates that played both in 71, Bruce Keeson, Manny Sanguillen, Willie Stargell.
71
and
79 team.
Yep.
They're not sure about this. Going to talk things over. Stop by the Icy Light Landing during tomorrow's game. Second collectible can featuring the Jolly Roger, available exclusively for fans at PNC Park. Before going on sale to the general public, don't miss the early release of the 3rd can in July. The Icy Light Landing tomorrow. 2-2. And another foul ball. And away from the fastball there. Pedro Alvarez, 4 for 11 in 3 games this season against the Orioles. Popped it up. And perhaps playable for Machado. No, and Machado kind of misjudged it, actually.
Yep, and he knows it.
Yep.
Greg, how about the makeup of the front office, starting at the top in 79?
Well, very top, the Galbraith family that owned the team.
GM.
Pete Peterson.
Yep.
Joe Toole. Doug McCormick was the controller. His assistant, Ken Kersey. You got Patty Mystic and June Shout and Jeannie Donatelli and Jack Schramm and Nolan DiPolo. Marketing and sales. Steve Shanwald.
Familiar names if you are a veteran Pirate fan.
2-2. And this ball popped up toward the line and left. And close, but Cruz not able to get there. So Pedro Alvarez, by the hair on his chinny chin, barely stays alive the last 2 pitches.
Cruz came a long, long way over toward the line.
Another great shot from the Allegheny Health Network Supermo on the attempt by Nelson Cruz. Well, Machado misjudged one. Cruz just had too far to run. And Alvarez will get another shot.
BG staying alive.
And another foul ball. Gonzalez can't put Alvarez away, and Alvarez just barely staying alive, and now it starts to rain. strikes out looking on the 10th pitch of the at-bat. Miguel Gonzalez strikes out Alvarez.
And that is a big item for Mr. Gonzalez to get on the other side of Pedro Alvarez with runners on first and second, having seen a lot of pitches. Sometimes the more you see, the more familiar you get. But you know, Pedro is looking for a breaking ball, but that was pretty much right there.
Now Marte struck out with 2 on and 2 out in the first. He struck out swinging. Alvarez strikes out looking. Marte left the second game of the doubleheader against the Yankees on Sunday with what the Pirates said was a tight left hamstring, but he says he's much better today. No back issues. And 1-1.
And you know, you can't always max out these kind of opportunities, but every once in a while you got to run the table and you string 5, 6, maybe 7 hits together in an inning. And it doesn't happen often, but every once in a while it's got to happen. You can't take these situations and always come away with 1 run.
Yeah,
just can't do it.
Two and 1. Fastball in on Marte. Gonzalez has been out there a while here in the bottom of the third after getting the first out. Liriano. It's Josh Harrison that got this inning going. That infield single to third, and Walker single to center. McCutchen brought home Harrison with a base hit. Long at bat for Alvarez. And a grounder to third. Dropped by Machado. He recovers. He throws, and he still gets Starling Marte. A 29 pitch third inning. And Gonzalez gives up just 1. Virginia area, thanks for watching and rooting on your Pittsburgh Pirates. All of us at Root Sports and the Pirates appreciate your support. And earlier tonight, throwing out the honorary first pitch, Rob DeLeo, Vice President of Sales and Marketing for Sudden Links Atlantic region, based in the Charleston area. Through to Dale Albright of Root Sports.
Root Sports in the box, number 1, baby, number 1.
Down along the banks of the Canal River.
And the West Virginia Power won 4-1 today down in Charleston. There's a family reunion there, huh?
How about that group?
Rennie Stennett, Sangy, Parker, Lee Lacey. Is that Matt the Scat Alexander?
I believe so.
Adam Jones at the plate, single in the first.
Only on a team that was managed by Chuck Tanner could you have a guy run backwards from third base to home plate. Only for Chuck.
Yep. Matt Alexander did that one night. The Pirates had a big rally. Tap dance across the plate. Pirates pinch runner in 1979, Matt Alexander. 2-0 on Adam Jones. Had the base hit in the first, extending his hitting streak to 14 straight games. Now 2-1.
And the rain has stopped like it always has. On we go. Although we are under a very threatening sky.
And they bounce to third, Alvarez. Jones is retired. First out, and again, Steve, kind of picking up where he left off in his last start, Francisco Liriano.
Not only picking up where he left off, but keeping the ball on the ground. No outs recorded in the outfield yet. And the Pirate infield will make their move to stage right.
Chris Davis can't hold his swing.
Now they started him off with a fastball inside last time to set up that kind of pitch that you just saw. And it certainly helped. Let's see if they try to come inside at all on this at bat. No, stay out there.
But going back to what you were saying about those first pitches, as Davis was pretty aggressive and went after that first pitch, but not in the zone, and there's that overshift against this big power hitter, Chris Davis. 2-1.
Now the good news about that first at bat, that fastball inside was perfectly placed. It is a dangerous area. I mean, this guy hits the ball a mile. So, you know, you got to have the fortitude to go in there when you make that decision.
Can't hold up there. Led the majors, 138 RBIs last year. Franchise record for home runs with 53. And the shift, diving stop in shallow right to first, throws it away. And now they thought they had him, and Ike Davis says, get out here, Clint Hurdle. They think that Davis made a move towards second, and Davis believes they tagged him before he got back to the bag.
So it's either Davis or Davis is going to win this thing.
Ike Davis, the Pirates' first baseman. Look at a stop here initially by Walker, but throws the ball away, and I don't think so. I don't think so. He stayed in foul territory.
Well,
yeah, but he didn't.
Yeah, and Ike's got his back to him.
Yeah,
so.
And he's safe anyway. So
yeah. Yeah. I almost think that Neil Walker might have picked up a wet baseball.
Oh, I bet you're right.
And just hooked it.
Clint Hurdle looking toward the dugout. He gets the thumbs down from Jeff Bannister. And we move on. I bet you're right, Steve.
What a stop he made, though.
Yeah.
Huh? I thought it was a great move by Ike, who had Chris Davis in back of him saying, come on, get out here. And he said, almost pulled it off, Chris. I think you give him a base hit on degree of difficulty there.
Yeah. Great stop, but errant throw. Probably a wet baseball. Now Nelson Cruz.
Actually, in the bigger picture, perhaps Francisco got away with a pitch that could have been hit a long way. Up a little bit.
Falls behind Nelson Cruz. 2 balls, no strikes.
Well, here's another situation. We talk about working around Andrew McCutchen. What is Francisco going to show Nelson Cruz, who has 12 home runs and 37 RBIs, other than being extremely careful? There's your definitive careful fastball down underneath the strike zone.
Yeah, 4-pitch walk, putting runners at first and second, and the batter J.J. Hardy with 1 out. Special Inside Pirates Baseball celebrate beloved Pirates manager Chuck Tanner, guiding the Buccos to that '79 World Series championship. He backed his players with a fervor to succeed, explore his career and unorthodox managerial style. An all-new Inside Pirates Baseball tomorrow after postgame on Root Sports. J.J. Hardy at the plate. Grounded out in the second. And a strike. After a 4-pitch walk to Nelson Cruz, a strike on Hardy.
The old, often used phrase, unintentional, intentional walk.
And as you said, the bottom half of the third playing with fire. But out in front now of Hardy, 0-2.
Yeah, it's an interesting subject because you get down to personalities of pitchers. There are some pitchers that just absolutely, because of pride or whatever, feel like they can get anybody out and hate to pitch around people. And they'll use the excuse, well, I'm putting another guy on the base paths. There are some situations that just scream for it. But there's some guys that hate to do it, or pitchers in previous years that hated to do it.
And trouble in shallow center field. It will drop in, and they're going to wave the runner home, and the throw's well off the mark. It's tied at 1. And an 0-2 pitch to J.J. Hardy. Chris Davis scores on the base hit.
It looked like Hardy might have hit it off the end of the bat, and maybe, well, not really, just didn't get a lot of it. Long way for Andrew to come, and that quickly we're back to even. So, yeah, you work around somebody, and this kind of thing can happen.
I thought Bobby Dickerson was taking a bit of a gamble there because the runner, Davis, had just reached third when McCutchen had picked the ball up, but he went ahead and waved Davis home with the tying run. And the batter, Jonathan Scope.
So that was the subject we're talking about. You rolls the dice and takes your chances and see how the cards turn up. Gets around a guy, and this time caution. People say, yeah, well, you know, Cruz could have hit it out of the ballpark too. So yep. It invites discussion.
A 2-0 count on Scope. Chris Davis, the infield single. The overshift, Neil Walker made the diving stop in shallow right. And he scored on the base hit by J.J. Hardy. Big rip there by Jonathan Scope on the fastball, 2-1. Scope is a 22-year-old rookie native of Curacao, part of the Dutch Antilles, that island that has produced a number of big leaguers over the years.
So you got a couple of rookies here back to back, right? Scope and Joseph.
Yep.
So you don't want to let them get away. They are vulnerable to major league pitching. So in a big league world, it should be one and done for the Orioles here in the top of the fourth. Doesn't always work out that way. No guarantees.
It's a 21 pitch top of the fourth inning for Liriano. Gonzalez survived a 29 pitch bottom of the third, allowing just the one run. After 3 straight singles with one out, he was able to strike out Alvarez on the 10th pitch of that at bat, and then got Marte to bounce to third. Love to see Liriano get Scope to hit a ground ball to an infielder here. Bounced. Diving stop again. Walker saves a run for the time being. Well, Davis was well off the bag, and as Walker called timeout.
There's the save. And Ray wants to talk to his pitcher. No, Dickerson was anticipating that ball getting through, and it never did.
Walker, a couple of diving stops, but no outs. And there is a situation, Liriano gets a ground ball, but not at an infielder. Scope gets the hit, loads them up for Caleb Joseph.
Now you put the Orioles in a position where there are a lot of possibilities. You got the pitcher who does not get at bats. The Pirates not expecting anything tricky at third base with Alvarez back. Ike Davis in front of the runner at first. What's the current popular phrase? You got to put your foot down. You got to put your foot down right now. Joseph, a youngster, and then the pitcher in the on-deck circle. Thank you very much. And there's a little difference too. Instead of 2-0, it's 1-1. That pitch was, well, it looked like it was downstairs.
Joseph 1 for 12 in the big leagues. He was hitting .261 at AAA Norfolk. Was definitely in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. And fastball in, goes to 2-1.
Now, do you get tricky with a breaking ball with a guy that's just been called up? Or do you go to the fastball, which he's got to be looking for? Thank you again.
Slider. 2-2. I think you go back to that pitch, Steve.
Yeah, if he's going to chase downstairs, absolutely.
Oh, Stewart got whacked on the backswing.
Yeah. That's not professional respect, a catcher to a catcher.
2-2. Breaking ball misses. 3-2. Now, do you have a choice? You really not.
Nope, got to throw a fastball. Unless you really trust your breaking ball. Now, there are guys that are primary slider ball pitchers that would throw sliders every time in this, if that's their primary pitch. You go with your best pitch here, I think.
Change up, perhaps? Would you do that? Or just go with a fastball? Wow, missed with a fastball, forcing in the run. It's 2-1 Baltimore. Second walk of the inning, and he loses Caleb Joseph on a 3-2 pitch. Inning started out with a ground ball to Pedro Alvarez. And, Liriano seemed to be just rolling routinely. And Davis with the base hit, the walk to Nelson Cruz on 4 pitches. And was that an intentional, unintentional walk?
Well, he was cruising until he got to Cruz, and that's a big item now.
And he misses here to the pitcher Miguel Gonzalez, who has 4 career at bats and is 0 for 4.
That walk to Cruz now is like a sore boil.
If you are
coming back to it,
if you're Buck Showalter, do you even have your pitcher who never hits? Does he even swing here? Do you even let him put the ball in play and a chance to hit a double play ball, or just let him strike out? You've got Nick Markakis on deck.
Well, you got certainly that has to be a possibility.
Well, he hasn't swung yet, but he hasn't seen just 1 strike. It's 2-1. He swings and lines it foul.
There's your answer. It's just hard for me to swallow at the big league, telling a major league ball player to go up to the plate and not swing the bat. I mean, just has a funny feel in the gut.
Right down the middle. Two and two. And struck him out. The second out of the inning. 4th strikeout.
So perhaps a sigh of relief from Buck Showalter. It's a funny feel too.
Yeah.
You got a Major League Baseball player up there and you feel good when he strikes out. Your guy. Now that guy felt pretty good about it.
Especially felt good when he saw that ball hooked foul down the line. 3 career grannies for Markakis. Ground ball on to second. So they get 2 in a long inning for Liriano. The Orioles take the lead. 2-1.
Of the 1979 Pirates World Series team, now we're pleased to be joined by the Cobra, Dave Parker, the Big Masher. Dave, what's this experience like for you to come back to Pittsburgh and celebrate that World Series?
Well, it's a great time every time we celebrate one of these anniversaries. It's always nice to see the old guys and tell stories. Every home run get longer, every fastball gets faster. But it's a great time.
Dave, you and Willie Stargell are widely known as the leaders of that 79 team. When you're down 3-1 in that World Series, what was the turning point?
I really think the turning point was we were down 3-1 and playing here. And during the introductions, Pat Kelly ran out on the foul line and did a little dance. And everybody in our dugout jumped up and yelled at him, "Let's see you dance the seventh game." And true enough, we came back and beat them.
How about when you look at the fly ball to Eddie Murray? He slips. What do you remember from that particular moment?
That if I miss that ball, I better keep running right on out the back of the stadium. So that's what Madlock told me when I got in the dugout. But, I was fortunate to keep my balance and make the catch.
Dave, what does it mean to you? You're a guy from Cincinnati, but what does it mean to you to have brought a championship and a World Series title to this city?
Well, it means a lot because they gave me the opportunity to play. They drafted me, and I played there 10.5 years, and I feel a certain allegiance to Pittsburgh because they gave me the opportunity to play Major League Baseball.
Thank you very much, Dave.
My pleasure.
Greg?
All right, thank you, Robbie. And Ike Davis sends a drive to the warning track in left. The catch made by Cruz. Dave Parker talking about the Game 7. Well, that was a messy field. The Baltimore Colts played on this field, and it was a mess. There had been rain and all kinds of bad conditions, and Parker slipped initially with the ball off the bat and made the catch. There is the Cobra. He always had that flashy flash of the glove, the swipe of the glove, the 1978 the 1978 MVP of the National League. Dave Parker. He spoke a lot of brash in his tone, but he could always back it up.
I'll tell you, I don't know if he ever got as much credit, as much recognition as he should have. This is one heck of a baseball player.
There's an argument that he deserves Hall of Fame consideration for the career he put up.
One really terrific baseball player.
And it's great to see that the Pirates and Dave Parker were able to mend fences after some discourse following his time in Cincinnati, and then it was on to Oakland and for a while Milwaukee and California for the Cobra as Mercer strikes out. And our Barrel Automotive League leaders stat, the 1979 National League leaders in runs scored, Omar Moreno and Dave Parker. How about that? Combining for 219 runs scored, the two of them.
And I think he would have probably been even more highly regarded had he not played right field in a city that had Roberto Clemente.
How tough that was for him to really take over that position after the passing of Roberto Clemente.
And he personally handled it very well with how he produced. Now, people's perception, of course, about both right fielders.
By the way, we certainly wish Dave Parker our prayers and thoughts with him. He's battling Parkinson's. It was announced late last summer. And he said he has no fear, going to battle through it. Now, I still think it was Dave Parker who brought Willie Stargell back into this organization. Parker was a hitting coach for, I believe, Cincinnati, might have been St. Louis, and he was asked whether he might come back to the organization in any capacity, back to the alumni, and he said, first thing I'd like Mr. McClatchy to do is find a way to get Willie Stargell back to the Pirates, and that's what Mr. McClatchy, Kevin McClatchy, did.
Yep. Interesting that a guy that had that separation with the Pirates was able to bring Willie back, and quite honestly, there was a little separation with Willie and the Pirates.
Yeah, that's right. Once Willie came back, then Parker returned in good stead with the organization. 2-2 on Stewart. And strike three, and the Pirates go down in order in the bottom of the fourth inning. It's 2-1 Baltimore. On to the fifth at PNC Park.
Brought to you by Barrel Automotive. We're driven to be better. And by Levin Furniture, proudly featuring solid wood American-made Amish furniture. For furniture that lasts, shop Levin. Let's go Bucks!
Here in Pittsburgh, the Pirates hosting the Orioles in interleague play. And trailing the Birds 2-1. On to the 5th inning at PNC Park. The Pirates scored a run in the 3rd. The Orioles get 2 in the 4th. Francisco Liriano giving up those 2 runs long top of the 4th inning. He now faces Manny Machado. There's Jim Palmer. Steve, you had a visit with him before the game, right?
Yeah, I did. An extended visit. Be interesting to play the whole. It's about 15 minutes.
Whoa.
During a radio rain delay or something. Some night we'll play it. A very articulate guy. Speaks extremely well. He has got unbelievable recall. Unbelievable recall about details and fly balls and the specific pitches.
He was pitched against the Pirates in 71 and 79, right?
Yep. And he was part of that that very young pitching staff that swept the Dodgers in 1966. He beat Sandy Koufax, one of his early heroes. It was him, Mo Drabowski, Wally Bunker, and Dave McNally that swept the Dodgers in 1966. And that was Koufax's last year.
And then in 71, he and Dave McNally were 2/4 of a rotation that thought
they won 20 games. Yep.
They beat the Pirates in that World Series.
Pat Dobson and Mike Cuellar.
Brooks Robinson was the 3rd baseman then, and the last Gold Glover at 3rd base until Machado picked one up, and now Alvarez can't pick that ball up. Manny Machado with the infield single.
Pedro not able to get a handle on it. Again, you wonder if there's any kind of a little bit of a wet residue from that little sprinkle shower we had. Jim Palmer was one of those rare guys that could pitch. He had enough speed. He was a high ball pitcher. He did not get, and he admitted it. He had found success, and he found success 268 times in his major league career. All-Stars, Cy Young Awards, all kind of accolades.
The greatest pitcher in Baltimore Orioles history.
Simple as that. That kind of covers it, doesn't it? And he's another one of those rare guys that has spent his entire playing career and postseason career with one team, Baltimore Orioles.
The Orioles who moved from St. Louis in 1954. See that 60 patch celebrating 60 years in Baltimore. Paying attention to Machado. Adam Jones has singled to left and bounced to 3rd. One ball, one strike. Adam Jones, another All-Star and Gold Glover. Won his 3rd Gold Glove last year. A 3-time All-Star. Quite a player the Orioles got from the Mariners back in February of 2008 for Eric Bedard. They also got pitcher Chris Tillman in that deal. 2-1 on Adam Jones.
All of a sudden, after that ground ball that Jones hit to Pedro in the top of the 4th, Francisco is searching right now. He's just kind of laboring, and that's, many times it's part of the process. Very seldom do you run the table for 9 innings, 9 shutout innings. And it comes and goes, and you got to fight your way back to where you were before that extended top of the 4th.
A slider that didn't do much, D. That pitch.
Sometimes they just roll, it just spins. Doesn't. Many times you release it back too far back, and it's just hard to catch up. You got to release those breaking balls out in front so they can start grabbing and biting.
Lines this fastball to left field, and Marte, it's over his head. And Machado racing around the bases, and a late attempt at the plate, but they don't get him. For some reason, there was hesitation on the part of Jordy Mercer to throw to the plate.
That's exactly right. Combine that with the fact that Marte might have taken a little bit of a straight route when that ball got up in the air instead of trying to create an angle. This pitch is downstairs and he gets it a lot of lift. Starley gets it into Mercer, and you're exactly right. There was a hesitation before Jordy let go of the ball.
Well, if he throws that ball right away, he's out. No question.
There's the super mow. The swipe comes up short, and he gets the back part of the plate.
And so these are the plays we've been talking about, Steve, that the Pirates just haven't been making. Not an error, it's a double. This ball drilled to right. Chris Davis mashes a 2-run homer, his 4th of the year, and gives the Orioles a 5-1 lead. Davis, who hit 53 home runs to lead the majors last year, has returned from the disabled list. That's his 2nd homer since coming off the DL. That was a bomb.
And how quick things can happen. Oh, that's right in the go zone. Upstairs so many times. What happened on a given pitch? Well, he got it upstairs. It sounds simple, but many times that's the answer. That's a big league home run right there.
This ball hit hard to center field, and this ball is going to leave the yard. That was a no-doubter from Nelson Cruz. And the Orioles now teeing off on Liriano, much to the displeasure of this crowd. .13 on the year for Nelson Cruz.
The ball out to right center field with that kind of authority. You are very strong. That ball followed a ball that was hit hard. This one was hit just as hard or harder.
Ray Searage out to try and encourage Liriano. Coming into this season, by the way, I didn't have a chance to mention the home run by Chris Davis was the 2nd allowed this season by Liriano to a left-handed batter. Coming into this season, Liriano had given up 6 home runs and 862 career at-bats against lefties. Chris Davis hits the home run over the right field wall, the left-handed hitter, and the righty Cruz drills one over the center field wall, and a strike on J.J. Hardy.
Those are 2 big-time home runs.
Machado started this with an infield single.
How quickly it can get away. I mean, Liriano cruising right along comfortably through 3 tidy innings. Innings 1, 2, and 3. Now 4 and 5 are a mess.
Liriano off the hill. On to first for the out. Pirates have now given up 48 home runs this season. Pitching staff. Only 3 other teams in the league have given up more than the Pirates. The 6th and 7th allowed by Liriano on the year. Jonathan Scope has struck out and reached on an infield hit.
And Francisco scheduled to lead off in the bottom of the 5th as they continue to work in the Pirate bullpen.
One ball, 2 strikes. talking with Clint Hurdle about the subject of pitchers, Pirates pitchers, establishing that inside part of the plate and moving feet. The first time we've seen, whether that was intentional or not, of moving a guy off the plate. He said Cole did a great job the other day of doing that. High fly ball hit fairly deep, but room for McCutchen. Not much room, but he's there. Two outs.
You've got to not only protect the outside part of the plate, but you've got to instill fear. Doesn't sound like the right word, but you got to let them know that you're out there and that you're going to protect your part of the plate and maybe get in their head so they don't become quite so aggressive or comfortable. You want to create discomfort.
Yeah, the Yankees were barking a little bit about that the other day, and that's kind of, I think, what you're meaning there, Steve.
Yeah,
the other dugout barking about.
Yeah, they don't like it.
Moving off the
they
plate.
Don't like
right.
it.
A 1-2 count on Caleb Joseph, who walked on a 3-2 pitch last inning, forcing in a run. That was a real red flag about Liriano not being able to put the ball where he wants to. Deep third, Alvarez on to first. The Orioles put a 4 spot on the board. A big bomb from Chris Davis, followed up by the Nelson Cruz solo shot. Game changer, Josh Harrison on Sunday, second game of the doubleheader, hits a home run. This is again game 2 of the twin bill. The Pirates would win it 5-3 thanks in large part to the J. Hay home run in the 7th, and this diving catch, robbing the Yankee of extra bases. Yangarvi Solarte, our T-Mobile game changer, Josh Harrison, who will be following the pinch hitter, Jose Tabata. Bit of a game changer there, the Chris Davis bomb.
And kept it changed out there.
Nelson Cruz then followed up with a home run of his own. And a short night for Liriano.
5 innings, 6 earned on 7 hits, a couple of walks, 4 strikeouts.
Jose Tabata will pinch hit. Miguel Gonzalez has struck out 3 of the last 5 batters he's faced. Tabata had an odd thing happen to him against the Yankees. He was moving from first to third on a base hit by Chris Stewart to right field, and all of a sudden kind of shut it down halfway between second and third. He was pulled from the game for tightness in the right hamstring. Apparently he kind of shut it down to avoid a serious injury. And a base hit to right field to start things off. A pinch hit single for Tabata.
We were mentioning early in the game, you know, you're looking for things now that Gonzalez on the road this year, 4 starts, an ERA of almost 7. He's cruising along pretty well right now, but Tabata gets the base hit, and certainly not full speed. But, you know, you hit a single to right field, you know it's a single, you know that's all it's going to be. You know, you're not thinking about 2 bases when everything is right out there in front of you. But he gets it started, and we go to the top of the batting order.
The third baseman way back. Would J. Hay think of a bunt?
Yep.
He did.
Reading his mind.
Machado was way back, and had that pitch been a strike, so a base hit was available, Machado will shorten up a bit. Two balls, no strikes. Orioles right about the middle of the pack in the American League in terms of starters ERA and even the bullpen ERA.
but very much in the pact in the American League East, just half a game in back of the
Yankees. 22-20 on the year of the Birds. Since sweeping the Pirates in that doubleheader May the 1st, they've gone 8-8, and since being swept in that doubleheader on May the 1st, the Pirates have gone 8-7.
Had the good homestand. Could have been better, except that gut-wrenching situation to St. Louis on that Sunday night.
Ground ball left side, and Machado. Diving stop, throw to second for one. An impossible double play turned by the Orioles infielders.
That's as good a 5-4-3 as you're going to see. Machado going to his left, down on the ground.
Manny Machado robbing of a hit there, and you think, wow, just getting it out is going to be pretty sensational. But Jonathan Scope once more. In the dirt, the pick by Davis. Manny Machado.
That was good all the way around.
Walker 2 for 2. Two balls, no strikes on Walker. Singled to right field his first time up, just between Chris Davis and Jonathan Scope, and then his last time he singled the other side of the second baseman who's playing out on the outfield grass.
'29-year-old Miguel Gonzalez. Getting a lot of run support tonight. As I told you, pitched well his last time out against Houston.
Now a 2-2 count. Gonzalez was originally signed by the Angels, an undrafted free agent in the winter of 2004, and then the Red Sox picked him in the Rule 5 draft in 2008. The Orioles signed him as a minor league free agent before the 2012 season. And he gets Neil Walker. A base hit, double play, and a strikeout through 5, 6-1 Birds.
And a lot of great memories. 79 World Series team. Now we're joined by the starting shortstop from that team. It is Tim Foley coming up from Ormond Beach, Florida. Tim, how are you enjoying your time thus far tonight with the guys?
It's unbelievable. The guys are great. You know, the stories you partly remember, but to hear the different sides of it are really great. And it's just it's really a lot of fun to go back. I mean, 35 years is a long time, and I'm losing my memory a little bit, but it was brought back pretty good with these guys tonight.
Well, I'll put the memory to the test. At what point in time during that season did you guys get the feeling that, hey, this is something we could do and we could win the whole thing?
Well, you know, it was a weird situation because I came over after the first few weeks of the season. Madlock came over, and you know, it was a situation where we went, as soon as we got here, they took us out. We had some dinner with the guys. This is what you have to do. You know, we don't expect you to do anything but catch the ball, throw it across the infield. We got enough offense, you know, just be part of this team. And as I look back at it, the whole thing with this team was that, yes, there were superstars. I mean, Willie Stargell was a superstar, and Dave Parker, you know, if he'd have stayed healthy his whole career, would have been right there with Willie Mays and anybody that ever played this game. And he still had a great career. But the other guys, every time we came to the ballpark, somebody'd pick us up. You know, the Jim Rookers, the Candelarias, the Keesons, you know, they all contributed, and everybody who got a bat in his hand won a ball game for us. So it wasn't a matter of what am I hitting. It's a matter of how can I help win a ball game. And it was you look back at it and say, you know, being unselfish made a lot of sense. And, you know, we had two leaders in Chuck Tanner and Willie Stargell, and we followed them pretty good.
What about following this team? Last season they returned to prominence with a 94-win season. What'd you feel for those guys?
Well, I you know, they're close. I mean, it just takes you something just to get over the edge. Whether it's an extra pitcher, whether it's one pitcher staying healthy longer, whether it's the players when they're in the lineup, they're getting, you know, they're putting good at bats on. You know, what they have to do, and like any team has to do, is the pitchers have to throw strikes in good locations. They have to catch the ball, throw it across, and they have to have timely hitting. And it's easier said than done, but they have the talent to do that, and they will do it. They will do it, and it'll happen.
And here's hoping. Tim, great to see you. Thanks for coming on with us.
Thank you.
Greg and Bob, or Greg and Steve, we got laughs are getting a little louder here, and everybody's having a good time.
I'll tell you, Tim Foley, he solidified that defense, Robbie. That was a key trade. Frank Tavares traded over to the Mets for Foley, and as he said, they just told him he was just a perfect grinder. Get the bat on the ball, a lot of bunting, and great defense at shortstop.
And I think the operative phrase that we heard from Tim there was they told, we've got enough offense.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a superstar. Make all the plays you're supposed to make. You'll be a good fit. And that's exactly, as you said, the way it played out.
Ask him how he struck out only 14 times in about 540 plate appearances.
Choke up on the bat.
Yeah, he did.
And then played it with as much passion as anybody. He would make relay throws from left center field to home plate. And if they didn't get the call, he'd run all the way in and argue with the umpire.
Yeah. Fiery, described Tim Foley. Mike Davis, slick little play. 2 outs. Speaking of the 1979 team, and we get to our This Day in Pirates History, brought to you by Day Automotive. The 1979 Pirates beat the Cubs 6-5, their 5th straight win. Don Robinson got the win. Dale Berra, John Milner, Omar Moreno all homered, and Teague pitched the last 2 2/3 innings, holding on to what turned out to be the 1-run lead for the save.
Different time in baseball when guys came in to get a save and pitched 2 2/3, maybe 3 innings on occasion.
That changed with, I guess it was probably Tony La Russa that has to get credit for the specialization, the bullpen.
By the way, just another this date in Pirate history. On May 20th, 1978, Willie Stargell hit a 535-foot home run in Olympic Stadium in Montreal. 535 was measured this day in 1978.
Wow. Should be a 1-2-3 inning for Jared Hughes, and it is. Bucks down 5 into the bottom of the 6th.
And there is Willie Stargell.
Two-strike pitch, swing and a miss. The game is over. Change-up is hit hard to the left side. Bangs over the wall. Ground rule double.
Singleton to the wall, and this ball is gone. The Bucks have gone all the way.
Unforgettable voice of Howard Cosell and Keith Jackson and Don Drysdale called that game on ABC, the World Series games, commemorating that 1979 World Series.
God, you get memories from every direction. You know, the voices that call the games, the voices you're hearing now that recall those memories. Championship year. And there's
City of Champions.
Yep, there's so much that everybody remembers from different directions of that.
Really, I don't know if you could say, it's fair to say that that was the beginning of the true Pittsburgh Renaissance. That time when the Steelers and the Pirates won championships.
The decade of the 70s.
Yeah.
For sure. Oh, that was
but the city itself.
Yep.
Under what, Mayor Caligiuri, right?
Mm-hmm. Pitt won a national championship. Yeah. The C. Miller brothers won a table tennis championship.
Who could forget that?
I haven't.
2-1 on Andrew McCutchen.
I have great memories of last week when you guys were on the road. We went out and bought a new vacuum cleaner.
How'd that go?
Great. Delighted with it.
You or Karen?
We both went.
So you were delighted with it, or Karen is?
I was, because she wanted to get another brand. I had to go with a Hoover, because that's what the gunner used to call it. You know, you need a Hoover.
So you decided on the Hoover then?
Pardon?
The Hoover?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Done deal.
No question.
Zach, you enjoying all this, Zach?
Oh, not enjoying this. And Miguel Gonzalez strikes out McCutcheon. 6 Ks. 1 away. Look at our AT&T fan photo or photos. Keep them coming in. Here's the hashtag BucksFanPhoto. Oh, yeah, some of the headlines.
Yeah.
And the World Series ticket. Game 3. Nice from Jeff Turek.
I bet the price would be nice, too, if we could get closer to it.
Games 1 and 2 in Baltimore, 3, 4, and 5 in Pittsburgh, and then back to Baltimore.
There's a lot of orange in this ballpark tonight. You made the trip over from Baltimore. You know, you talked about the surface of Memorial Stadium. It's the same way in '71. They actually spray painted it for batting practice because of the football team, the Colts.
Alvarez flies to center, 2 outs.
So we wound up after batting practice with 3 dozen green baseballs.
Oh.
I mean, it wasn't even properly cut out. There wasn't any sharp, definitive lines, and it was a mess. $10 for that World Series ticket.
World Series ticket that they showed was just $10. Can you believe that? Marte has struck out and grounded out. A couple of strikes on Marte.
Well, somebody's having fun. We need about 5 runs to start our fun part of the evening.
Almost got a piece of Marte. And Miguel Gonzalez is having fun.
Mm-hmm.
Has struck out 6, season high 7. Could not get Marte to chase. Struck him out in the first inning. And Marte has struck out 52 times this season. That's 3rd most in the National League. He had cut way back on the strikeouts the first couple weeks or so after leaving that leadoff spot, but started to creep back up again. And another strikeout. Marte is retired. The Pirates go down in order. Baltimore up 6-1. Chairman Bob Nutting hosted the VIP party for the Children's Institute earlier today before the game. The very important Pirate VIP. Day school at the Children's Institute. And Clint Hurdle, of course, very important to him and his wife Carla and their family, Maddie. The Children's Institute does such a great job, and the Pirates work very closely with the Children's Institute. And they'll have this VIP party each month. Bob Nutting will host the group in the Pirates suite. They'll enjoy ballpark fare, and they will be very important Pirate people once a month. Folks from the Children's Institute, guests of the Pirates. There's Adam Jones, 2 for 3, doubled in a run in the 5th inning of Liriano. Jared Hughes retired the side in order in the 6th. That ball rides in on Jones.
Creating a little discomfort there, moving some feet.
also a pup night, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
About that.
Tuesday night. Yes, runs. See, that's not automatic, but that's what can create that kind of swing because he came inside. Now, I'm reaching a little bit, but that can be the scenario that you're not quite as comfortable going out there after you've been moved off the plate and that fastball is coming pretty close to your body. One of your goals as a pitcher, create uncomfortable swings.
Bounce to short. Takes care of Adam Jones. Follow every Pirates game with mlb.com at bat on your favorite mobile phone or tablet. Get live look-ins, instant replays, scores, stats, audio, free mlb.tv game of the day, and more. Download on the App Store or visit pirates.com.
You know, Greg, one other thing I remember about that 79 team, a fan told me one time he saw the Pirates coming into Pittsburgh airport from a road trip. He said he thought it was a professional basketball team. They had a lot of big people.
Whoa.
Oh, my goodness.
There is a big shot again, a two-homer night for Chris Davis. What a bat to have back in the lineup for these Orioles. Crush Davis with his 5th home run. And again, he spent a couple of weeks on the DL with the left oblique strain. He did crush that ball.
He strikes out a lot, and he does a lot of what you have seen tonight. They are not just home runs. They have height. They have distance.
Yeah, they're majestic.
They are very impressive. That's strong.
You have to give the Orioles credit picking up Davis, the former 5th-round pick of the Texas Rangers in 2006. They traded for him 3 summers back for Koji Uehara, and they also got Tommy Hunter in the deal. Hunter is now their closer. So Uehara went on, became a free agent, signed with Boston. He's done great work with the Red Sox, but that's a heck of a trade for these Orioles.
Shades of some of Boog Powell's majestic home runs. First baseman for the Orioles back in the day.
Seventh career multi-homer game for Chris Davis. His last one was June 29th last year. It's his first 2-homer game this season, his first 3-hit game this season. Came off the DL 9 days ago. '53 home runs last year and 138 RBIs. Two. The Orioles, when they have a healthy lineup, you look at it up and down with Markakis, Machado back May the 1st after undergoing the knee surgery. This fall is a nice diving play by Alvarez from his knees. He throws to first and gets the out on a great play by Alvarez.
We have seen some glove work at third base tonight. Cruz looking back and thinking, well, I should be at second base now. But Pedro gets it down on the ground and from the knees. And then the nice pick on the other end. Circle around the 5, circle around the 3.
Orioles. Yeah, he thought he had a hit. There's a strike on J.J. Hardy. So you look up and down the lineup with Machado and Adam Jones and Chris Davis, and they added Nelson Cruz as a free agent over the winter. J.J. Hardy. And they get Wieters back. That's a solid lineup. Chris Davis with a 3-hit, 2-homer night. The Orioles up 7-1. And how about that? Base hit by Hardy to beat the shift. 3 infielders on the left side. Hits the ball up the middle. His second hit.
Jared came as close to anybody to getting that ball.
J.J. Hardy, a 2-hit night. Another look. Base hit up the middle. He's a .355 career hitter against the Pirates. The former Brewer. Came over from the Twins before the 2011 season for a couple of minor leaguers. And he has won a couple Gold Gloves. He won his second Gold Glove last year. The third Orioles shortstop to win a Gold Glove, joining Cal Ripken and Mark Belanger. Belanger won 6 in a row. He was as good as anybody over there, wasn't he, Steve? Belanger?
He was good. Belanger, Davey Johnson, Brooks Robinson, airtight infield. Played some high school basketball against Mark Belanger up in Pittsfield, Mass. The late Mark Belanger.
In the air to center. And that'll do it, but Davis, that's his second home run. And it's a 7-1 lead for the Orioles. Heading to the bottom of the 7th inning. It's 7th inning stretch time here at PNC Park for game 1 of this 2-game series against the Baltimore Orioles, and we'll keep it right here.
And join everyone watching at home on Root Sports as we sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game."
Rusted Root, cover me up. Be in town this week. Now the Pirates are down to the last 3 shots and they trail by 6. And a pop-up out of play by Ike Davis.
We get a chance for our first segment of Well, We Have a Minute to send out best wishes to Trey Colville from Masontown. He's recovering, and Trey, hope you're back on the active roster soon. Trey Colville, good to hear from him and his family. pups got their Pirate unis on.
0-2 on Davis.
Let's get back. I want to hear your reports on the new Yankee Stadium.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah,
nicer than the old Yankee Stadium, I thought.
Well,
in terms of accommodations for the media, that's really all that matters to us, right? When people ask us where our favorite ballparks are, it's tough because we don't hang out in the seats.
Well, the last time I went with you guys, and it was looked good on the field, but the inner workings, it was kind of mess underneath. I'm sure with what, $1 billion.
Yeah,
put it together.
It looks
nice
a lot
ballpark.
like to me the old Yankee Stadium.
Well, it's got the facade up above and the whole thing. They're running out of numbers to retire, aren't they?
Jeez.
I still remember going there as a 10-year-old and from a small town, seeing a first night Major League ball game and walking through one of the tunnels. It did look like, you hear that phrase, a bed of emeralds. And it's just stunning to see the big lights and the big ballpark. I was there for all 700 of Babe Ruth's home runs.
There's a drive to right. Ike Davis. We're talking about wanting to get some power numbers going. Ike Davis, it's his first home run since that grand slam. It's a solo homer, but good to see the long ball.
Certainly a step in the right direction, and now Showalter wants everybody in for a pitcher's conference.
Davis.
And he wants the baseball.
It's his first homer since April 21st. High drive over the Clemente wall. His second Pirate homer. And third overall this season.
And that one was impressive. So, the ballpark tonight, want to see the long ball, you've had a show.
Davis's. Ike for the Buccos and Chris for the Orioles.
Pirates Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by T-Mobile Tuesday Night Baseball.
Bucks down by 5. Tommy Hunter, who has closed most of the season, gives up an infield single to Jordy Mercer right away following the Ike Davis home run. Look at Tommy Hunter's numbers.
He was very much involved in that doubleheader, wasn't he? The save and a win. Did I read that right?
Yep. There have been some questions as to whether Hunter should be the closer. And there's a liner to center field and a base hit.
A spark here in the seventh.
Back-to-back hits after the home run and greeting Tommy Hunter. Travis Snyder will pinch hit. An interesting decision by Buck Showalter to bring Hunter in here. Obviously, figuring going to get him out of the closer's role. Apparently, for now anyway, maybe try and get him straightened out of the role for the time being. Hunter started April strong, 6 saves in 9 games. But, struggled lately against both lefties and righties. And it's 2-0. And they're going to get somebody up in a hurry.
This is a nice little situation for Travis Snyder. Back on his heels is Hunter. not so far back on his heels. He can't deliver at 95 miles an hour to home plate. And had Travis be late on it.
Zach Britton, who picked up a save for the Orioles last week against the Royals. And there's a ball.
Dicey little situation on this pitch coming up. Ball 4, loads the bases, takes you back to the top of the batting order. .97 miles an hour.
Tommy Hunter given the closer's role. Last year, of course, Jim Johnson saved 50 games. They dealt him to Oakland. It looked like they were going to sign Grant Belfour. And Hunter comes back and strikes out Snyder. 1 down.
That was a big item for the Baltimore Orioles right there. Might have got a call, but you don't want to be it rung up either. So 6 of one, half a dozen the other. He gets him. You're not guaranteed you're going to get that pitch called ball 4.
Obviously not happy, Travis Snyder. Ball 1 on Josh Harrison. Could not hold there. 1-1. Mentioned that the Orioles looked as though they were going to sign Grant Balfour, but they backed out of what had been a 2-year, $15 million verbal agreement, according to reports. Balfour, and so Tommy Hunter has been saving games. He blew a save 7 days ago against the Tigers, giving up 4 runs in 2/3 of an inning. A second straight blown save. And that could be 2. 6-4-3 double play. Home run for Ike Davis. 7-2.
Pregame, you saw Mike Easler was our guest during Twitter Tuesday, and he was asked by Sean Graham via Twitter using the hashtag Bucks Tuesday, where did you get the nickname Hitman?
Came from that 14th inning home run I hit against the Mets, and a week later I hit another one against the Mets, and actually my brother gave me that number. He said, "You're not easy no more. You're the Hitman." I said, "Well, I like that, man." So we started using the Hitman, and I started coming off the bench that year, and I got a lot of key base hits, key walks, and that's how the nickname stuck. Finally, when I got my start in 1980, I got lucky and hit 338 with 21 home runs, and I was really the Hitman then.
He was a very entertaining guy, Greg and Steve, when you talking to Mike Easler before the game. And the funny part of that, he said before he became the Hitman, he was known as Mike Easy. He said because he had a hard time getting hit, so everybody called him Mike Easy because he referred to himself as an easy out. But more than happy to take the nickname Hitman.
Great personality.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
always
guy.
laughing and smiling. Great question, and a perfect Easler response, the Hitman.
I never knew him very well when he was here, but he's come down to fantasy camp a couple times, and he has just got the greatest personality. Fun to be around. He's a nice man. Good man.
What a great pickup he was for the Pirates. Big contributor to that World Series team, Mike Easler.
Pete Peterson and his scouting staff and development people, well, they made some good choices, didn't they? Tim Foley, Madlock.
And they got Easler in spring training that year from Boston. And they would eventually trade Easler back to the Red Sox for John Tudor before the 1984 season. Here's the rookie catcher, Caleb Joseph, facing Jeanmar Gomez.
One of two new Pirates in the field. Gomez on the mound. Snyder stays in the ball game after pinch hitting. Plays right field.
Bounce to Alvarez. We invite you to join us tomorrow. Hope you'll be here as we celebrate the 35th anniversary of the '79 World Series team. We'll introduce the players on the field before the game, hear from members of the '79 team, and take a look back at the 1979 season and the win over Baltimore. 1979 World Series celebration tomorrow starting at 6:30 here on Root Sports. Delman Young pinch hitting. Jared Hughes went 2, gave up a run on a couple of hits, including the Davis homer. Oh, 2 on Delman Young. Jeanmar Gomez takes care of Delman Young. 2 up, 2 down.
Gomez right on top of the plate. And he is gone to go back to the top of the batting order.
Been 11 days since Jeanmar Gomez has pitched in a game. Pop up. And a catch made in fair territory off the bat of Nick Markakis. 1, 2, 3 go the Birds.
The authority of the Pittsburgh Pirates and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
And a look at the road ahead for the Pirates, brought to you by Nissan. It's Chris Tillman on the mound for Baltimore. He'll be opposed by Wandy Rodriguez. Tillman, his record 4-2, and Wandy Rodriguez pitched 5 innings his last time out. He looks for his first win. Unfortunately, Francisco Liriano will not only not get a win unless the Pirates rally late. He'll be tagged with his 4th loss in as many decisions. And now Zach Britton. Britton picked up his first big league save this past week. And a catch made by Scope. He went up and got it and robbed Neil Walker.
They made some very good plays, sparkling double play, and then a very critical double play, and now up the elevator.
Nicely done by Scope.
Sometimes
Way up
you see
there.
guys go a little bit up. That was high flying.
As high as he could go. Jonathan Scope. Orioles have the best fielding percentage in all of baseball. McCutchen 2 for 3.
Here's some foot movement. Zach Britton has been somewhat brilliant with an ERA under 1. When your ERA is under 1, you're somewhat brilliant.
Being converted to the bullpen, a long-time starter throughout his career. Zach Britton, drafted in the 3rd round by the Baltimore Orioles 8 years ago. Walks McCutchen. Get to the game early this Saturday. Pirates host the Nationals at 7:15, and the first 25,000 fans will take home a Pedro Alvarez Silver Slugger bobblehead. Thanks to Trip Total Media. Plus, everybody's a winner on an Eden Park Scratch and Win Saturday. For tickets, go to Pirates.com. It's coming Saturday. The Pedro Alvarez Silver Slugger bobblehead. Those 25,000 fans will get one. Alvarez not able to produce his first 2 times when he had men on base. Flied out his last time. And as much as you are going to want to blame Liriano, and he did give up 6 runs in 5 innings, just wonder what a big inning would do for a Pirate starter. The Pirates looked as though they were going to, and they were setting up shop for a big inning in the 3rd with 1 out. They got the consecutive hits from Harrison, Walker, McCutchen. McCutchen brought in the run, and then that 10-pitch at bat to Alvarez ended with a strikeout looking before Marte grounded out. They appeared to have Miguel Gonzalez on the ropes. It was a 29-pitch 3rd inning. .95 from the lefty. Against the left-hander, a 95-mile-per-hour fastball. Singles to center. Wow, upstairs.
You just don't catch up with that many fastballs, 95 miles an hour, when you got to go up high with a swing. There's a couple of things going on. You're late. And that's most of the time trying to keep the bat level when you get up there.
Dave Wallace, the Orioles pitching coach, out for the conversation, and in the meantime, Darren O'Day. Sidewinder starts to loosen up.
Dave Wall's been around a long time. A lot of organizations, sometimes the Dodgers.
Couple strikeouts tonight from Marte and an 0 for 3 evening. Another player the Pirates would like to have catch fire. Even though he's hitting .333 this month, it's been sporadic for Marte. Another fastball missed, 1-1. Happy birthday.
There's the birthday guy on the right there.
Hit hard, but at the second baseman for a double play. Wow. A bullet at scope.
Snake bit.
Third double play turn by the Orioles infield. 7-2 going to the 9th inning. Orioles a big 4-run 5th after scoring twice in the 4th inning to erase a 1-0 deficit. Manny Machado, 1 of the 11 hits. Pirates with 10 hits. Orioles have had 3 homers. Chris Davis will have another shot coming up for his 3rd home run of the night. 2-1 on Machado. To Mercer. 1 out in the top of the 9th. They'll bring up Adam Jones. The Brewers down 5-0 in Atlanta in the 8th, while the Reds were beaten by the being beaten 9-2 in Washington. The Reds won in extra innings last night. Todd Frazier homer. And in the 5th, the Cubs are blanking the Yankees. One on Adam Jones. 2 hits, an RBI double in the 5th.
You know, we've had a little bit of everything because we've had kind of long, drawn-out half innings where not much happened as a result in a couple of half innings, and then all of a sudden the fireworks in the 5th inning by the Orioles. I mean, that the definitive single, double, home run, bang, that just pump out 4 runs in a matter of about 7 minutes. And that has been the big item so far. The rest of it has gone pretty quickly, but you have a couple of clogged innings, home runs, and here we are.
Jones hit by a Gomez breaking ball with 2 strikes, and here is Chris Davis. He had the hit in the 4th inning. Neil Walker made the diving stop in shallow right, but threw wildly past first, and then a 2-run bomb in the 5th off Liriano. And a solo shot to center off Jared Hughes in the 7th. Ball 1 on Davis. Davis finished 3rd in MVP voting last year, behind Miguel Cabrera and Mike Trout. Drives to right, and Chris Davis has a 3-homer night. 3 home runs for Chris Davis.
I think he's back.
2nd career 3-homer game. He had one in August of 2012 against Toronto. He's homered in 3 consecutive at-bats.
And this one perfectly placed because it was just to the left of the National League scoreboard. Over to the right, it would not have gone out. It would have been 2 bases, but it was far enough over to the left where that home run line comes down, and he found that corner. So just to the left of where that line comes down.
That is some serious power from that first base position.
Yeah, because that didn't have a lot of height on it.
Look at his 3 home runs. The towering drive over the Clemente wall in right, the ball over the center field wall, and this one over the right center field line drive. Nelson Cruz wanted to outdo Davis.
He's not gonna tonight.
5 RBIs for Davis, 4 hits in the game. 8th time in his career he's had a 4-hit game, but his 2nd career 3-homer game.
I guess it did have enough height. Wasn't that low. Still got out quickly.
Orioles leading 9-2.
Oh, Pirate pitching got a little taste. Liriano, Hughes gave one up. Gomez. Nobody has escaped. What that must feel like to hit 3 home runs in one game.
Wow.
There are guys that have done 4, and that's out of control.
Already caught looking. This Davis's night. Orioles night, 9-2 Birds. Enjoys his 2nd career 3-homer game. He drives in 5. Looking mighty healthy.
I'm sure the Rangers folks from the Texas Rangers are watching tonight.
Zach Britton for a quick 3 outs, and Pirate fans disappointed. They'll be looking to tomorrow to try and earn a split and avoid being swept in the 4-game season series.
All eyes on Wandy Rodriguez tomorrow night. See what he has to offer.
Davis homered his last at bat. Bounces this ball to Scope in shallow right. One away in the bottom of the 9th. 4 for 5, 4 runs scored, 5 RBIs.
We're gonna make a pitching change here. Buck is in control.
9-2. Buck's going to the bullpen. Oh.
And to the best of my knowledge, not a save situation, but make a pitching change. Darren O'Day comes in, make appearance number 18. And if you thought Zach Britton was having a good year, take a look at the gaudy numbers ERA wise for Darren O'Day at 0.54. Gonzalez, Hunter, Britton, and now O'Day.
Jordy Mercer 1 for 3. Cubs are still shutting out the Yankees 2-0 at Wrigley Field in the 6th inning. Jason Hamill trying to outduel Masahiro Tanaka. Cardinals are shutting out the D-backs 5-0. Matt Adams homered. His 3rd, Johnny Peralta's 9th. Adam Wainwright has allowed 1 hit, no walks, 9 strikeouts in 6 innings.
Beside Tanaka, is he the best pitcher in the game right now?
I guess it's Wainwright or Cueto.
Yeah, Johnny Cueto.
Mercer down on strikes.
Cueto has been phenomenal.
Steve, similarities there with Colby?
Yeah.
Was he more of a sub?
Yeah.
He dropped down further, didn't he, Teague?
Yeah, he was way down.
Yeah.
Knuckles on the ground.
Yeah, he was a submariner.
Guys put together a little differently back in the day when Teague was that string bean.
And Potash, Kent Colby getting ready for the post game. They're going to do it in the dark.
There we go.
They will do that night lighting.
Yeah.
Stop by.
Say hello to the fellas.
Absolutely. Juno and Chris Stewart. Nine runs, a dozen hits for the Orioles, 2 runs, 10 hits for the Pirates. Orioles won a doubleheader in Baltimore on May the 1st by scores of 6-5 and 5-1. They won the second game of that doubleheader in 10 innings, and now Stewart is plunked. What do you think of that, Steve? I mean, there's sometimes you think, well,
this is getting interesting.
It's 9-2, 2 strikes. I mean, that's right at his back.
Yeah, there's no escape there.
Adam Jones was hit by a pitch in the 9th inning, but that was a breaking ball that didn't break.
After the home runs in the 5th inning, we started moving people around off the plate. Nobody was hit until the Jones situation, so you just wait till tomorrow and see if there's any carryover.
I don't know if there's any history, too, by the way. Who knows? Stewart's time in the American League. I know last year, I think it was last year, Stewart thought he had struck out on what was it, just the second strike against Wei Yin Chen. And he turned around, he started walking back to the dugout. He figured he was out. There was only 2 strikes.
There are blatant situations where you have a real good idea some stuff is going on, and there's a lot of fuzzy areas, a lot of gray areas.
Three and 2. Bounce to Scope. And on to first, and the Orioles win the first game of this brief 2-game series. And it was the Orioles, the big boppers, especially Chris Davis. Nelson Cruz got involved with a long ball. And Liriano looked strong for, well, 3 1/3 innings anyway, until Chris Davis hit, and then things just fell apart.
That covers it.
Final score of 9-2. The Orioles have won 3 of the first 4 games of the season series, out hitting the Pirates here tonight 12-10, and a night for Chris Davis. Powers the offense, a 4-hit night, 3 home runs. He drives in 5. Francisco Liriano falls to 0-4. Miguel Gonzalez the winner. And we'll go out to Dan Potash and Kent Tekulve now.
All right, gentlemen, the Pirates, of course, getting their second look at the Baltimore Orioles this season. The first one coming in Baltimore, where they did not see Chris Davis. Boy, they got a good look at him tonight, and he made them pay, well, 3 times.
Yeah, well, they were real happy they didn't see him the first time. They're not so happy that he was able to recover and get back for this series. We've heard about Chris Davis over the years. We hear about the reputation, but we don't see the American League teams that much. We haven't seen the Orioles. I can't remember when the last interleague series was, but this guy is legit. I mean, you can see just the way he swings the bat. There's just a little bit of lift in that swing. He's got tremendous power. We've heard all about it, but when you see it, it is really impressive. So he's a guy. If you're out on the mound, you better pay a whole lot of attention to, and don't let him get anything in the middle of the plate where he can square it up, because he'll do some very, very hard damage with it.
Well, in case you're wondering, the last time an opposing player homered 3 times against the Pirates in one game, Prince Fielder, then of the Milwaukee Brewers, back in 2011. All right, we're going to try to get away from the bad and look at some more of the good with extended highlights from tonight's game. Of course, we'll have post-game interviews from the Pirate Clubhouse, and we'll continue to celebrate the 1979 World Series championship with a couple of close personal friends of my good friend, Kent Tekulve. Buccos fall 9-2 your final. Pirates post-game presented by the Allegheny Health Network coming up next.